What's up, my brother? So in this video, I want to talk about this clip that was forwarded to me. He looks like some kind of a therapist. I'm not sure if he's speaking Russian or Ukrainian, but I'm not going to play the audio because you won't understand it unless you're Russian or Ukrainian, I guess. But I'll read the subtitles and what's happening here. And it's pretty sad with this conflict, this proxy war that's happening. The reason why I'm making this video is because it really exemplifies the notion that I talk about many times to you guys when understanding the sexual marketplace, that women just don't care about a man's struggles. They hang out at the finish line and they pick the winners. So let me just, I'll have my editor put it up on the screen, but I will read it for you. It says, regarding the women who left the country since the beginning of the war in Ukraine, I would like to expand on this topic a little bit more. Look, I have had approximately 1,000 consults for the last half a year. 70% of my clients are men who, just like any honorable man with dignity, they have taken their wives and their children or their girlfriends and the women out of the country into a safe place, and then either took up arms and went to defend their country, in quotations, or just stayed in Ukraine. Well, 7 out of 10 Ukrainian women ditched their men, broke up with their husbands, and found themselves new men, Poles, Spanish men, or German. They have destroyed their families and ruined their relations. And I don't know, this is a tragedy of our times. What's wrong with this world? What's wrong with our women? Okay, so let's hop on the road and deal with that component of female nature. You know, he's saying what's wrong with the world, what's wrong with our women. And the truth of the matter is, that's just the way things are. Let's get on the road here. You guys want to hear this exhaust? That's a stage 2 tune, by the way, 585 horse, 640 pound-feet of torque, for those wondering. All right, so to the point of what's happening here in this world, and you know what's happening in the world, and why are we behaving like this, and blah blah blah. And the truth of the matter is, this is a story as old as time itself. The notion or the concept of war brides, which is essentially women will always move over to, and it's not always, like, you know, sometimes when I say always, I think a lot of people like to take it out of context. Well, Rich said always, so it means 100% of the time. Look, on a balance of probabilities, if women and children are basically put at risk, because women are the protected sex, that's why it's always women and children off the boat first, and it's men that don't, sort of thing. It's why men are stuck in Ukraine fighting, and it's why the women and children were removed from the country and placed in safer areas. It's because women are protected and men are disposable. And yes, men are extremely disposable, and they've always been disposable throughout history. And what that means is, it forces women, because of their hypergamous nature, to find the best that they can get. And in a situation where your domestic country is at war, or has been at war, or has been conquered by a warring country or a tribe, or whatever it happens to be going back 2,000 years, women's innate nature to survive for themselves and their own children is to find something that is better, or something that exists that is better. So when these guys removed their families and put them in safer places, and then they found Spanish men, Polish men, or German men to take up the place, and they left their husbands, or maybe their husbands or boyfriends or whatever happened to die, or maybe they just didn't happen to be the best option. Maybe they just thought to themselves, you know what, these kids need to be fed, and I need to do something about that, so the German guy over here looks very good, sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? And that is not a issue with women. Women aren't horrible creatures or any of those things. It's a feature of survival. Without it, humans as a species would not exist today. We would just go extinct eventually. We'd be incompetent, extinct, like dodo birds, sort of thing. So you have to understand that if you put yourself in a scenario where you park something nice in a shit neighborhood, park a nice car in a shit neighborhood, leave it unlocked, there's probably something that's bad that's going to happen. Just like you take your gorgeous women out of the country and you drop them off in other countries, surrounded them with other men, then a few of them are going to be in their arms within a reasonable period of time. Anybody that's been in the military knows the story of Jody. Jody is a big joke, not really, but it's a reality of men that go on deployment overseas and their wives or girlfriends are purportedly supposed to be waiting for them. A lot of men find that these women of theirs that are supposed to be patiently waiting for them end up in the arms of other men. And the nickname for the other men is just blanket across, just Jody. So I'm sure there's military men out there that have served, that have been in that situation, or know somebody that's been in that situation, might have even sat down beside one of their friends breaking down in tears after they find out that their woman's left them or is not responding to them, and you know they're out in deployment dodging bullets and frickin' bombs and roadside explosions, trying to save the West. That story, oh yeah, that's working well. And, you know, we end up in these proxy wars where guys are throwing themselves in front of bullets or explosives under the, you know, the notion that they're doing the right thing. Remember, they tell men and women very different things. Men have heard this narrative, you do what's right, right? You got to do the right thing as a guy. They tell women, you do what's right for you, girl, right? And in certain scenarios like this therapist guy is talking about that's done these thousands of consults, he's noticed 70% of the women have left the guys and moved into the arms of other men. It's a sad tragedy. It is a reality of the world. It is not a new phenomenon. It is not something that's unique to that part of the world. It is hardwiring. It is infused in the DNA of our beautiful women out there who are capable of doing that. And, you know, it's not that they will all do it, it's that they are all capable of doing it. And when you understand the capabilities of women and what kind of risks exist when you allow them to exist, then you take better precautions, if you see what I'm saying. It's like, you know, the whole story that I've told thousands of times now, and I've had loads and loads of consults with a guy tell me the story. It's like, my girlfriend went out to Vegas and she cheated on me there. She was at a bachelorette party and she ended up banging the stripper or whatever it happens to be. It's not even that uncommon for, you know, brides to be. They're called dancing bears, by the way. I've had a male stripper on my podcast once explaining this concept and how it goes down. But it goes down. It goes down. And us as men, we don't need to fight it. We don't need to say what's wrong with the world or what's wrong with women or why can't women behave with some integrity or virtue or whatever it happens to be. Women behave in accordance with their hardwiring, and their hardwiring is hypergamous, and they want the best they can get. And if you're not in anymore, fellas, and somebody else is because you decide to go and throw yourself in front of bullets, they move. Women move around. It's a moving target. It is what it is. Learn the game, understand the rules, and play it accordingly. That is the ultimate message that I'm trying to convey to you guys here. Stop sleepwalking through life thinking that girls are sugar and spice and all things nice, like the nursery rhyme said when you were kids. Nice nursery rhyme, eh? How's that working out for you, would be the way that I would put it. One of the first things that I tell guys when they are on a private one-on-one consult with me and they start listening all this dumb shit that led up to the failure or the breakdown or the cheating that occurred, it's like, how did all those choices, how did all those decisions, how that plugged-in programming, how did that all work out for you? If you want to unplug from the comforting lies that society sells you, a good place to start if you're new to my channel is my book. It's pinned below in the top comment. Lots of other useful links that I'm affiliated with that I recommend. My course, supplement line, my community, all that stuff. You can check it out. In the comments below, let me know what you think. Have you got firsthand experience with this? You know, have you been able to accept this cold-hearted, uncomfortable truth? Leave a thumbs up, do the thing. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.